So, car number 2, or project number 2, Audi A3, convertible 2 litre TDI, 166,000 mile. Wings are readily available for these, unlike the A4, which you can't get anymore. Okay, so as for the interior, half leather, S-line seats, needs a good clean out inside, as we can see. Onto the back, so again I'm putting new pads and discs on the back. Other things I was doing was a bit of hoovering out yesterday and getting rid of the bulk of the rubbish. Still got that footwell to do. The seats are going to come out when I do the full valet, which you'll see on future video. Try and get all this staining etc out the seat. Failed to mention, I've ordered a RS grill, so the honeycomb grill, and also comes with the honeycomb surrounds for the fog light. So them inserts, they'll be honeycomb as well. Well, good morning, happy Sunday. We've got the wing off, a bit fiddly, but I'll sort it there. I've had to, doesn't come with these mounting brackets on the wing, so I've had to grind the rivets off. So I've got these rivets to drill out still, and pop rivet back onto the new wing. I've also took the front grille off, ready to put the new RS3 grill on, and also I need to take it off to get the headlight off, which needs replacing. So you can see there I've got a new RS3 grill. There's the new wing. So I'll just strip the front grille of this off now. I won't be putting the new one on until I've done the Raptor spray. It just saves us having to mask that off. Yeah, so I'll get this all took off. I've got the S-line badge to take off and bond onto the new wing before I spray, because I don't want to put that over the top of Raptor. I want it onto the metal. Yeah, and then I'll take the headlight out as well. In fact, I'll take both headlights out. Again, just ready for the Raptor, so it's less I need to mask up. Right, it's cracking on, dilly dilly. Well, that's the sanding done. Looks like one of them, you know, when they do like a concept car and they disguise it. So yeah, it's ready for Raptor. Obviously that's a different colour because that's the new wing, so that just needed a light sand. Still got the wing mirrors to do. Other than that, that's the prep done. I wanted to get it done today because it's nice and dry, so I can get it pulled back into the garage, get it nice and central. Now it's ready to Raptor. May get done this weekend. I do have the cam belt kit to do, so cam belt or timing belt and water pump, so I may get that done before I do the Raptor, which is the ideal. So happy days, dilly dilly. Right, so I've given it a rinse, washed all the dust off it, all the top coat dust, so it will dry. As you can see, kind of still had greyish lines in it, but yeah, let's give it a good key. I've got some bits of metal where I've took rust off, so I'll have to put a primer on that. Yeah, so we'll just let this dry off and then pull it back in the garage. Yeah, fantastic. Another job done. Dilly dilly. Well, hello. So I've been prepping for the timing belt, as we can see. All stripped off. Just waiting for the timing belt to arrive tomorrow, and then I'll get that all fitted back on with a new water pump as well. Headlights, as we know, I replaced this headlight because that one was damaged, and then I went to test the lights and noticed that the LED DRL, or daytime running light, doesn't work on this one, which it actually failed MOT for as well. So I've had to buy a whole new light. There's no way you can repair the DRL. It's a bit of a bad design by Audi, I guess, because that's just ridiculous. I mean, the light should last the life of the car if it's the case that you've got to replace the whole light unit. To buy brand new from Audi, I believe it's about 500 odd quid. However, I'm getting a second hand one, 100 quid for this knackered lens. But I'm going to just test that the DRL does work on this, and then I'm going to have to debond the lens from mine and put it onto that, which is going to be a bit of a chew, but it's the only way I can do it to get a cheap fix for the DRL. What else have I done? I've knocked the dint out there, which was on, so that's done. There was a dint on the door, I've knocked that out. So car's pretty much bodywork wise good to go. So yeah, I have to take the bumper back off, which isn't too much of a hassle. So yeah, I'll get this taken off and get the DRL sorted. Dilly dilly. Okay, so DRL's been tested and it works. I did swap over the driver on the bottom just in case, and it didn't work. So it's definitely the LED that's gone. The board. So I'm guessing what I'm going to use is my angle grinder, and I've had to take out there's some pins that were in the sides all the way around in certain places. You can see one at the top there. Yeah, so obviously once they're put in, until they set, they must put pins in as well. And then that's it, they can just cure on their own. So I'm guessing that's what they're for. So I've took them out. So my plan now is, on this one, the broken one, is just cut it as close as I can all the way around, and then see if I can pry out the old plastic from the bonding. And then on this one, because this whole unit is knackered and it's just a glass I want, I'll cut it this side, and then hopefully be able to peel off this plastic. So I'll cut it all the way around here. You can see some of them bonding clips in. So again, I'll take them ones out. So yeah, that's my plan, and then hopefully I can bond the new one, or the glass, back into the newer unit and get the LED working. Right, dilly dilly. Well, this has been a bit of a pain, and still is. So you can see I've stripped all the headlight down, and just to get all this bonding out, the middle of this channel is a nightmare. I'm happy black. Yeah, there's just no easy way of doing it. Well bonded in there. So I do have a little plan. Now we can see here's the driver for the LED, and I'm guessing that's what's gone on mine. This is the fault with these headlights. Eventually it goes. so we need to replace this. So all I need to do is swap this for mine. However, this is where it sits in the headlight. So I'm thinking, rather than try and replace the glass, if I cut a section out of here to get me access to this, replace it, and then just glue this back into position, I don't see why that shouldn't work. Worst case, if it is, you know, if it is this that's broke, the LEDs, which I very much doubt, then I'll have to go through the realms of actually, you know, cutting the glass out of this. But this is potentially knackered anyway, so if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter, I don't need that. But if it does work, then I do need that, because I just need to replace it and put it back in, if that makes sense. Right, let's see how that one goes, and if I do manage to do it, that'll be a good one for YouTube, because that'll be an easier fix than trying to replace a lens cover on this. Dilly dilly. Okay, so you can see I've cut a corner off there very carefully. I have nicked a wire there just slightly, it just took the coating off, that's all, so I was lucky there. But yeah, it looks like I've got it marked out in the right place there. I just need a bit more cutting off across there, and that'll allow us to pull out the whole module there, or driver for the LED. Swap it over and see if it works. Right, dilly dilly. Okay, so disconnected the cable there, took that extra bit off there. This should now just slide out. Get in. And there we have it, one driver. So it's just a case of putting the replacement one in, and hopefully it'll graft. Right, dilly dilly. Right, no joy, didn't work. Actually, both of them are good. So it must be probably one of the LEDs is gone. I can't think where else it can be. I've plugged it. Obviously we know the cabling's okay on the car, because I have got a side light to work, this one that I'm trying to replace the lens on. So if it isn't the driver, then it can only be the LED itself. I think if one goes, it knocks the whole lot off. However, I don't know for sure. So my next plan is, now there's 4 screws holding these on, which I've took out of this one to see how it comes off, and if it comes off easily, and it does. So literally that off there, that off there. There is the LEDs. That's all I need to replace. Now, I'll say that's all I need to replace. I can't really get into it. There's it in there. The plates on the top there. However, I think there'll be enough room, possibly, if I drill holes in the top here where the screws are for these. Then I think I'll be able to get that plate off from inside there, bring it out of here, and then thread the new one in, put it into place, and then put the screws back in. It's a bit of a long shot, I know, but again, this will be a great fix if I get it to work, drilling holes rather than trying to replace the glass. So we'll see how that one goes. Dilly dilly. Success. I've got it working. Yeah, so I had to do quite a bit of cutting. So you can see I've cut the side there. Again, all this will bond back on easy enough, and seal back up, so I'm not overly fussed. But yeah, I had to cut that off so I could take this off and then slide the top bit out. It's hard to explain, but I've had to drill holes in there so I could get to the screws. Yeah, but I've managed to get all the screws back in place and the LED unit all back on. So yeah, there's the old one. So that is what fails when your DRLs go out. Either, I'm guessing it's just one of the LEDs goes, and then that knacks the whole lot. Yeah, but thankfully I don't have to replace the glass, and I can just keep whatever spare parts I need off this and bin it. So yeah, all for the sake of a strip of LEDs. There we go. Cheers Audi, dilly dilly. Okay, so just to point out the timing locking points on the A3 2 litre TDI CBAB engine, 140 brake. So you've got the locking device over the crankshaft on the bottom there. There's an arrow on the front of the locking device which matches up with a mark on one of the teeth on the crankshaft sprocket itself. Up onto the camshaft, again I've got a locking tool in there. If you can't get a locking tool in there, then the crankshaft needs rotating another 180 degrees. Basically you need the tooth part here, this recess, pointing more or less upwards. If it's pointing downwards, then you need to rotate, as I say, 180 degrees, and then you'll get that locking pin in there. And then the other important one is the fuel injection pump, so that must be set as well. And we can see there, if I come down to level, you can see there that there is, if I take this drill bit out, you can see a hole in there, and that lines up with that. So that's it, that's your 3 timing pieces, crankshaft, camshaft, fuel injection pump. So that's ready now to accept the new belt, or it will be once I get the coolant pump put on and the various pulleys, and then we'll go through adjusting and getting it set to the correct tension. Okay, so the timing kit arrived. We can see now I've fitted everything. So I've had to fit the new coolant pump, tensioner pulley, idler pulley, another idler pulley, and another idler pulley. So we've got 3 idlers and the rest are drives. So my locking tools are still in place as I put the cam on, the cam belt. So I'm now happy that that's seated correctly, and I'm not a tooth out, or hopefully not a tooth out. So all I simply do now is just remove the locking tools. That was just a drill bit, cam locking pin there, and then down the bottom the camshaft, or sorry, the crankshaft locking pin. So we can see this is still loose. So now I've just got to get my Allen key in there and tighten up the tensioner, and then I do 3 rotations clockwise of the engine, and then reinsert the timing pins to make sure that they go back in, and that tells me that the engine is in time and I haven't missed a tooth somewhere on one of these pinions. Okay, I'll get on with that. Okay, so we can see now the tensioner. Just get the light there. So we can see that I've used the Allen key in that slot to pull the tension around until the point that that is more or less at that recess. That tells us at the right tension. So now I can rotate the engine 3 times. The belt might slacken a bit, which is why I always do just a little bit plus of that gauge there. Okay, we'll see what happens when I turn the engine 3 times. Right, so I've done the rotation 3 times, and we are in fact out of time. So I've locked it in at top dead center at the bottom, lined it up with the marks, and now when I try to put the socket into the fuel pump, it won't go in, and likewise with the camshaft timing pin, it won't go in. So I'm guessing I am 1 tooth out anti-clockwise. So I basically need to bring the crankshaft and the fuel pump forward one tooth, and then check it again. Okay, I'll take the slack off and then see if I can just get one more tooth across. Okay, all done. Yeah, so I can just tighten up on the adjuster now. Yeah, so everything's timed, rotated 3 times, all my pins are in, and bang on, top dead center. Yes. Right, so we're all back together, ready to turn the engine over. It's up on the axle stand still. I have given it a service, so I've changed the oil filter. The air filter doesn't need doing, the fuel filter doesn't need doing. I've got a record of that being done. I do have to prime the fuel pump though, because we've broken into the lines. Should only need a couple of spins. I've topped the coolant up, and I've got some more down there ready to go, the G12 stuff. So ignition on. Get the key. Select control module, engine, output test, fuel pump, and there we go, fuel pump's running. And that'll just be recharging the fuel lines up there. Won't take much because I haven't changed the fuel filter, so all the fuel's still in there. Okay, I'm quite sure that'll do. I shall start it up. Moment of truth for the timing belt. Let's make sure it's not in gear. I'll have to go in and press the clutch. Well, sounds good. Means I've done the timing belt right. Okay, I'll just get it up to temperature now and then start topping up the coolant. Well, good day. So we've had the timing belt fitted and water pump, ran up the temperature. It's all bled through, working fine. Front headlights fixed, as we've seen. Next, my attention is to the rear fogs, which again failed MOT. So Both rear fog lights aren't coming on. Done the normal, check the bulbs. All good. However, I think I found the problem. So inside here was, pulled two cables out, which are snapped. So I just need to take the boot or the seat release. Allows the seat to go forward so you can put a through load in. But I need to take this off so I can move this back, get to the wiring, and then resolder some new bits on.